momentum without clarity is like driving a car at top speed while completely blindfolded, drunk, and on ketamine. Ultimately, you're just gonna zigzag all over the road, eventually crashing in a fatal collision. And that's exactly how you're operating when you have all of these grand, ambitious goals. You're trying to do a million different things at once, but even worse, you don't know which order you have to do things. You don't know what you have to do on a daily basis to actually make tangible progress, and you're confused. Man, I've been there too, brother. It's a very frustrating part of being in this age of information. There's 1,000,001 different ways to do something. There's 1,000,001 different people trying to sell you on their ideas on how things should be done. The worst part is everything flipping works when you work and when you pick the path that is most aligned with who you are. So let me talk about right now, this current state that I'm in, because right now I'm speaking from a place of violent clarity. You see, a few months ago, I had lost momentum. I started this year very strong. Vices eliminated without even an intention of going back to the old days of smoking weed and rotting my life away. Very clear goals and a clear process on how to achieve them. But then, because of my own choices that I made and the chaos that my mind was in, because I didn't have this violent clarity, I ended up distracted on a side quest. I started off the year with a very clear intention of my North Star being going full-time online coaching, helping other men improve their physique and just get really, really good at delivering an amazing service. But I got sucked into the world of sales because I stumbled across an opportunity that I thought was interesting, and it was a great experience. I was doing face-to-face sales, doing charity fundraising, and it taught me a lot about pushing outside my comfort zone, learning how to control my mind when everything was going wrong, interacting with other people, and how to talk to different classes and levels of people, and honestly how to blend in with the NPCs. I'll say that much. And eventually I got freaking sick of it because yes, it was a fun time, it was a good experience, but the days were just not aligned with how I wanted to live. And all the time being, I was trying to build up my personal brand to get, clients and stuff for the coaching. And it was just so chaotic. I was always switching between these different goals. Oh, should I go, more all in on sales and just get better at raising funds for charity? Or should I focus more on just, getting leads for myself? And it ended up turning into a whole bunch of spaghetti bolognese where neither endeavor was working. Because I wasn't going all the way in on one, I couldn't even go halfway into the other. And eventually I got so sick of it that I was like, bruv, this is not the lifestyle I want. I'm going to get into online high ticket sales because at least it gives me more time and location freedom. And yes, it would have done had I stuck with the process and fully committed to it. And I tried to, believe me, I tried to make the mental switch. I was like, yeah, for the next year, I'm just going to go all in on sales, get really good at it, learn how to close high ticket people for other offers so that I can then transfer that over to my own offer. But man, it was rough. It was a rough time. And I ended up leaving the offer I was on mainly because I was told to. I joined a school community of someone who's very, very credible in the space who told me essentially that I'm on a shitty offer and I'm wasting so much of my time and energy and I should get off it. So I did. And then that led to me losing a bit of steam, sort of getting confused about, what my next steps were. Was it get on a new offer to start developing a skill of sales again, or get just back into full-time what I actually want to do in my life, which is freaking coaching. And so I was in a very sort of frantic, schizophrenic period where I was desperately trying to reclaim the momentum I'd lost, but it was all coming from a place of confusion. Because I didn't have this violent clarity, I allowed essentially the shiny object syndrome and the marketing to start setting in. And I had this idea that I first had to go out there, prove myself, grind in silence, and then come back unrecognizable. But it doesn't work like that if you want to have the impact that I want to have, which is I want to document the journey as authentically as possible so that I can give you insights and value along the way when it's from the most raw and authentic place possible. So I'm freaking committed, man. No more chasing shiny objects. I definitely went through a bit of a slump, which you can see in my content. For a while I was low energy. I was, you can feel that I wasn't operating from a flow state. I was operating from a state of just, desperately trying to reclaim something that I'd lost. And you could tell, which is why the content wasn't doing so well. But man, right now, I'm in such a state of violent clarity that I'm sleep deprived for the third night in a row. I'll be honest with you, I got about 2 hours of sleep last night because I was just so excited. I was just lying awake at night, just visualizing the future so much clearer than I'd ever seen it before. And all it took was one call that I did last night, which was a sales call for a mentorship program that I'm going to join. And this call, it allowed me to finally get the permission, not that you need permission from anyone to do anything, but we've been programmed in this education system that we always need permission. We always have to ask the teacher to go to the toilet. We have to ask, sir, can I please take a holiday so that I can spend some time with my family at work and stuff. But yeah, this call that I had yesterday got me into a state of violent clarity that I had to come on here and share with you, because yes, I have. If you watch the video I made yesterday, I've been going through a season where I've been trying to raise the floor. Yeah, energy was low. It wasn't a motivational time, but it was a time for just being in the process and being in a season of just showing up. But, you know, now that I actually stayed consistent, laid the foundations of some, you know, good discipline and habits, now is the time where I can build up higher and actually raise the ceiling. Today is not going to be a day where I'm freaking operating at max cognitive capacity. Simply put, because the human brain needs sleep. It's the ultimate tool for recovery and regeneration. And right now, man, I'm not recovered and regenerated at all. I'm literally just riding high on excitement fueled by violent clarity. And I might not be giving the impression of violent clarity because I am a bit meandering and, you know, not very structured, you could say, but I'm going to blame the sleep for that, because my internal state is something that I haven't felt since the start of the year, and right now it feels incredible. But it doesn't come without the process. So right now, what are you actually to do if you are struggling with this mind of cottage cheese where you don't have this clarity? How do you gain it? Well, first things first, you have to upgrade your actual operating system, because if you're still poisoning your body with garbage, then you're never going to gain clarity. How are you supposed to think with a clear mind when it's foggy from all of the junk food you consume and just absolutely schizophrenic, ADHD, distraction monkey-brained from the garbage content that you consume? You can't gain clarity by adding and adding and adding and adding. You gain clarity from removing, and the removal can be very boring. You might have to do a complete cleanse where you say, for 3 days, I'm gonna fast from everything. Food, entertainment, content of any kind. Literally just me and my thoughts and a piece of paper and a camera to document the journey and speak. And by speaking, I will gain clarity. That's what I did a month or two ago, and I documented it. You can definitely have a look. But this definitely is an amazing first step. You can't develop clarity about where you're heading if you don't take care of level 0, which is your habits. And just the freaking state of your body and your mind, man. And that's a very good goal to shoot for at the start. Level up your body, freaking pound yourself, pause, with some hard training, setting the goal of getting into the most pristine physical shape you've been in and allowing that to feed into the rest of your life, where you get into the most pristine mental shape that you've been in. So essentially, step 0 on gaining clarity is to get out of this foggy mess that you're in right now. Stage 2, once you start actually, fixing your brain, is just explore, man. Seriously. Take whatever opportunity you can find to see what you don't like. Because right now you're trying to think, you're trying to align yourself with a future that is very vague and unclear. But even worse, you don't really know what you actually don't enjoy. Because by figuring out what you don't enjoy, you can start to reduce the options of what you do enjoy, of what you can actually see yourself doing for the rest of your life or for the next season of your life. So this is a period, bro, where you just freaking experiment. Enjoy the feeling of not really knowing what's going on, but just freaking giving it a go anyway and seeing how far you can push it. And if you find something that you really, really despise, you can literally cross it off the list and be like, nope, never again. That option is freaking closed. And then as you slowly narrow things down, you can find, oh damn, this is what I enjoy. This is what I want to do. And you might end up finding that this is exactly what you want to do. You just want to freaking turn on the camera and see where your mind takes you. Okay, yes. Number 3, or part of this experimental stage, is you have to stop trying to map out every single step of the way, because you have no idea what's next to come, because you haven't actually walked the path yet. Listen, I know it's a freaking cliche saying, but the path only illuminates as you walk along it. You know, if you're vague and you're unclear, step 1 is literally just to focus on mastering your body and your mind. And obviously there's no such thing as true mastery, because we're going to work towards that for the rest of our lives, but you know, get to a level where you can actually think properly and you're proud of the way you look. And then, you know, whenever you want to get into a venture, a career, anything like that, just freaking, what is the one thing I can do today that will give me more clarity, even whether or not I want to keep doing it? But yeah, man, seriously, stop trying to analyze and project yourself. This has kept me stuck for such a long time, and has had me, you know, just think way too much instead of act. So don't do it, bro. Don't do it. The devil hates clarity, so he will try his best to fog up your brain as much as possible, because he doesn't want you to carry out God's plan. So put your faith in God. Clarity is a truly holy thing, and putting your trust in the Lord will fast track, it will speed run your ability to make good decisions that are truly aligned with what your soul needs. And seriously, one conversation can change everything. Like I talked about before, I had a sales call yesterday for the mentorship program that I'm going to join, and all it took was just a little bit of someone in a higher position than me in the game that I want to play, just breaking down some of my limiting beliefs and, you know, reinforcing the idea that I am 100% capable of going after what I need. Because this mentorship program that I'm going to join, it has a lot of free content scattered across YouTube, you know, giving insane value that gives me tangible, actionable things I can do on a daily basis to work towards that goal. And being on that call, even though I haven't joined the program yet, it gave me so much more desire to actually go out there and execute on the things that I can do. Now, it won't be with the depth and specificity that I will get inside the program, and it won't be, tailored to my situation, but it feels like I finally have permission. But like I was saying before, you don't need permission from anyone but yourself. And I know that can be hard to get. So, freaking, if you're still watching this video, take permission from me. Just freaking, doesn't matter if you think you're unqualified. You'll probably get a lot more qualified by doing what you think you can't do. But anyway, seriously. But anyway, brother, it's been way too many days of sleep deprivation in a row. So if you've watched this far, you're a trooper, and you probably have the attention span to accomplish way more than you think. So with that being said, have an excellent day. No matter how bad the chaos gets, always return to violent clarity.